Hello everyone. Thanks for coming back and tuning into this video. I wanted to give you all a heads up and say that I am coming back, and if you would just bear with me, because I I have been on a little bit of a hiatus, which I guess you could say is was very well needed. I had to take some time off to do some things, and well, I would just say this. Sometimes, well, every choice we make has a consequence, and well, I got into some trouble. And I had to, be responsible and take care of a few things. I mean, at the time that this happened, I was not so happy about it. I was actually angry. But, it fell right in alignment. Like, it had the perfect timing for the situation. The universe handled it very well. Okay, now from right now, like where we are right now in 2022, looking back in hindsight, I'm very thankful for how it panned out and played out. So this past September, 2021, this past September, actually September 1st, I was finally straight. I was done with community service. Finally legal again. Everything's all good now. But anyways, lesson learned, and I'll never do anything like that again. But, they say everything happens for a reason. So, here I am coming back. I am also not, like, tech savvy, so I'm trying to figure everything out, because like now we have TikTok and Instagram. I'm on both of those, but personally, you're welcome to follow me personally, okay? You'll see me, Angela Renee Folk, F-U-L-K. I don't know how to work them like the best. Okay, so I am learning, and I'm trying to do a few things here. Okay, so, and when I tell you, like, bear with me, because I also have to learn and figure it out. I also work too in the process. So between work and this page here, which I'm trying to bring back, and then also I have a soap business, which I'm also trying to get back into. I have a lot of things going on at like one time. I'm also remodeling my house, my grandparents' house. So there's that going on. Another thing that, in this whole time that I was on hiatus that happened, when you guys used to watch me before, I had 3 dogs and my cat Moon Pie. I still have my cat Moon Pie, okay? But the other 3 dogs that you were used to seeing have all 3 passed away. So you won't see any of them anymore. Isabel, she was the first one to go. I would have never have thought that that dog would have been the first one to pass away. Because she was like the second to the youngest. I never had any issues out of her. I never even took her to the vet. I mean, I took her to the little, the mobile thing to get her rabies shots, but that was it. I mean, she'd never even stepped foot inside a veterinarian's office. And, anyways, she was 9 years old when she passed, and it's probably been, like 3 years now. And then, if you watch me from a long time ago, you're probably aware of Mater, my little Dachshund. my wiener dog, my little wiener, who I love and miss with a passion. He got sugar from either my coffee or a piece of bread. One of the two caused him to have, well, it affected his kidneys. The vet, I took him to a holistic veterinarian who said that the whatever he was getting a hold of, because we had to like figure it out, was damaged his kidneys in a way that it formed a calcium deposit on his spine, so it paralyzed him. Well, we got him back to walking, and then one day I dropped, because at the time I was making bread every single day of the week. Okay, bread, any type of bread, well, especially like sandwich bread, and then rosemary and olive oil bread, cinnamon buns, all kinds of stuff at the time. So anyways, I had dropped a piece of bread on the floor, and sure enough, he got that piece of bread, and it was probably like 4 hours later, he came to me like, I'm in pain. I had to take him right back up there. He is paralyzed again. So, each time that he ended up getting paralyzed, it cost about, $1,000 to get him back walking again. Which, was okay comparable to like the $6,000 it would have cost to have had surgery. Like spinal surgery, which they usually, a lot of them do that, the Dotsons. And anyways, so I got him walking again, and then it happened a third time. And the third time, at that point, I had already gotten in trouble with my stuff. I couldn't afford to do both, so we put himself in a little wheelchair and just did what we could, and he was fine. He was still going, and, I was doing everything I could to keep the sugar, like, because, you just be sitting, like, I'd be sitting there like this, and he would, in my drink, you wouldn't even barely hear him or even know it was coming. He was so fast. So we really had to keep an eye on him and make sure, that, that didn't happen. And then it actually did happen again. And, we stayed on top of it, and then I don't remember what happened, but something fell on the floor that he flew in there and got. And when I say flew in there, I'm referring to the kitchen. And the next morning, when I got up, he was actually paralyzed on the front. So then he couldn't stand, he couldn't move his front legs, he was not in pain. So I thought, okay, I'm going to have to start back over from scratch with him. And which meant like take him off his dog food and put him back on his his holistic diet plan, which I did, and on the hoping that it would start to come back off of him. And I thought that it was for a second, and then the fourth day he was in pain. So then I was like, and no improvements on the front end at all. So I had to go put him down. And that was very sad. That was in October, a year ago. And then the following February, my Camellia, the white Shih Tzu, she was 15 at the time. And she was just old. And she started she kind of started whining to me that she was in pain, that something wasn't right. So I sat with her and I worked with her, and then I was like, I'm going to have to take her to the vet and I think have her put down. And at the time, it was like 7 or going on 8 o'clock at night. So I called like an emergency vet, which is on the other side of town. And they told me that, I could bring her in and they would go ahead and do that for me. So I drove her there, and right as I was getting ready to turn to the parking lot, she passed away in my car. So brought her home. I have like a little cemetery. Keep in mind that I'm in the house that I was like born and raised, grew up in. So I've always had somewhat of a cemetery over here to the right side of our house, where all of the animals I've had throughout my whole life are buried. So the three of them are in their own little, like, they're together, so they form, like, you know, there's one here, and then one right there, so they form like a little triangle, and they're right over there in their little spot. We all walk past them when we go to the pool. We talk to them. I talk to them all the time. So they're there. So now, in the mix of all of that, I ended up with 2 more dogs. So you're going to see another Shih Tzu. Her name is Cookie. She is so ratchet. Oh my gosh. Anyways, and then you're going to see a big dog, which I haven't had a big dog since I was a child, but now I have a big dog. And his name is Axel. His name is Axl Rose, so he is named after, you know, Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses. Come on. We'll see if he gets up here. But anyway, so here he is. Yes, I know. Big boy, big baby. He doesn't really bark unless there's someone outside. So you might hear him occasionally or see him occasionally. But he's a very big dog. He's loving. He's my big boy. And anyways, I guess he knows I'm talking about him. Alright, hop down. Go. I know. Go. 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 So, those are some. And little Cookie's looking at me like, what? I don't get a turn. Well, come on, Cookie, if you're coming. We'll see. But anyways, so you'll hear them or see them in the background now. And I still have my cat Moon Pie, who still loves to, you know, occasionally jump in the camera and jump on the cards. So, there's that. I still live on the same road with all that traffic, and the traffic has gotten worse, unfortunately. So occasionally you may hear like a transfer truck or a dump truck or a tractor going down the road. Now, I am all for the tractors going down the road, okay? I'm on, like, when I was a child, everything around me was farmland, and now it's not so much. And for me, it's a little sad, because I love, you know, the farming and the tractors, and it just doesn't happen as much now, but it's okay. It is what it is. You know, I guess the times are changing, and you just got to acclimate and keep right on rolling, huh? So, what you're going to see on my channel here now is I am going to start back about the same. I'm glad I talked about my cat for a second, because today, for some reason, she has been like crazy-eyed. So she's, you know, right now she just ran across my couch sideways. So, and she's running again. So you may, I don't, you know, it could be something in the air, whatever. It's Aries season. So anyways, you could very well possibly hear her. So, anyways, I'm going to do the same thing, somewhat the same thing that I did the last time. If you are a follower from once upon a time ago, you know, I appreciate you, you know, coming back or sticking with me this long. And if you are new, welcome. If you are new, you need to know that I do cuss occasionally. I am very raw, okay? You know, sometimes, well, in the past, I've had people, you know, comment on, they came to the reading, but they got like a grocery list. And then I had one lady who got very upset with me because I did a reading using like Doreen Virtue's Past Life Oracle deck. So I just want to comment then on those two things. I'm a channel. I don't like when I go to start these videos, I before I start the video, when I know that I'm getting ready to do a reading, I start getting messages. When I sit down to do the reading, they're coming out. I cannot, okay, there goes a transfer truck, nor am I going to, because I'm going to tell you, if you have stuff that's trying to come out of you and you don't get it out and you keep it inside, it's almost like pus. It will sit there and fester, boil over, because it's trying to come out. And when you hold it in, if you don't get it out or let it out, it will sit there and create, you know, like a pus pocket or a pimple, you know, some shit within you, to where you manifest an illness. You know, that's why a lot of people have throat issues, because they're eating their words or not getting their words out, and they feel like, you know, they can't speak, and therefore you create throat issues. And I've been there before. I only speak from experience, okay? If you speak about something that you have not ever experienced before in your life, you will call that experience into yourself and you will live it. So I do not speak about stuff that I have not experienced before. I used to talk about stuff like that all the time, and then I'm like, hold on, now this shit's happening to me. And it would be like immediately after I spoke on it. So I have learned that lesson. Now, I can't help what comes out. What comes out is what's meant to come out. So when you come to the reading, you know, in the beginning, I'm probably going to be talking, and then, you know, like, I always in the past would end up talking like maybe 10 minutes about whatever messages were coming through, and then I would start the reading. Now, if you're one of those that doesn't like to hear the talk, that's fine. Not everyone wants to hear the talk. So just, you know, skip through, drag that little thing until the reading starts, and skip all that if you don't want it. You don't have to listen to the whole thing. I'm not forcing you to listen to the whole thing. So if you don't want to hear that, then, you know, move along to the next, move along to the cards. Now, the lady about the comment with my past life oracle deck. I noticed in that booklet that, yes, Doreen Virtue wrote on there, you know, I recommend, and I don't recommend you use like a Celtic cross spread with these cards. They're not really meant for that. Doreen Virtue, I still love Doreen Virtue. I loved her the most when she was spiritual, not so much as a Christian. There will probably be videos where I talk about certain topics, and that right there will probably be one of those. The only thing that I can say in this video here about her right now is that, you know, sometimes, I mean, I feel like I have somewhat experienced this before in my life. Now, there have been times in my life where I got really into the Bible and into Jesus in like the Christian, Christian way. And I think I might have been about 16, 17 years old. And I went down that path. And I followed it for maybe a year. And then I realized, okay, this is not for me. So I got out of it and I switched up my relationship with Jesus and with God. Okay? So the only thing that I can say about Doreen Virtue now is that obviously, because I've not really listened to everything she has said in her new way, or really followed it, because, and here's why. Okay? This is the main reason why I will separate myself from Christians or Christianity. Okay? Now, I am a huge lover of Jesus. Okay? I'm like, I am a Jesus fanatic. Okay? I love Jesus. There are, every day I talk to Jesus. There's at least once a day you might see me doing like this in the grocery store. Is because I'm making sure he's holding my hand. Because that's what it takes to get me to go through the grocery store sometimes, is him holding my hand. So, my thing with that, when Christians start pointing their fingers, or even using their words to say, you can't do this, you shouldn't do that, there is one too on here, on Facebook, because Facebook is my platform. Okay, I operate from Facebook, and then I will outsource to other places. Okay, like YouTube or Instagram or TikTok if I get there. Okay, but there is one on here and also on Instagram that I followed. I stopped following this person just because, you know, they had made the comment that being a Christian, you cannot do yoga. And because yoga is demonic. And there was a few other things that they said that was demonic. And if you're a follower of Christ, then you have to repent against those things and not do them. And I just don't agree with that. So, you know, my thing is, there are other books and works out there that are not, you know, included in the Bible. The Bible is a wonderful tool. The Bible has a lot of truth, but you also have to take into consideration, which I feel like is the blockage for the Christians in, and you know, I almost feel like there are two types of Christians, because there is a set of Christians out there that are like Jehovah's Witnesses, that will sit there like Bible thumper and hold you to the Word. But you know what? The Word in the Bible, it's supernatural. Okay? Supernatural. Supernatural. It's not physical, like Bible thumping. You know, if you don't believe in magic, you're not going to see the supernatural. Okay? Like, the Bible is a magical book. Magical shit happens in it. If you can't sit here in reality in this world and see the magical part of life and believe that there's magic around you, then you're missing the point. And you see, that's the point. The thing that gets me with these so-called Christians that are like Bible thumpers. They'll see the truth, but they don't see it supernaturally. And the book itself is a supernatural book. I mean, so that's the separation that I have with those types of Christians. Those types of Christians really piss me off. Okay? They really do. Especially when they're like, oh, you're going to go to hell. Oh, excuse me? No hell I'm not. Don't make me get on the word now, okay? Because I'll give you a word. Anyways, you know, there are also other books out there that are, you know, the Bible was constructed in a way to do a certain thing. There was a council, a group of people that came together and said, hey, let's construct it this way to serve this purpose. So that's the Bible for you. But the Bible is not it doesn't have everything in it. So there are still other books that are not included in the Bible that you can read. There is, now it's in the Vatican vault, but I mean, Jesus himself had a book in his own handwriting. It's in the Vatican. Like, you can get translations on these things. You know, there's a section in the Bible. I believe Jesus was maybe like 13. This is why you don't hear about Jesus from adolescence till the time he re-entered, and he was like 30 or 33 when he came back. The reason why you don't hear about him there is because he left and went on like his little spiritual journey to go discover and to go find and to go research and to go learn. And then he came back and was like, here I am, bitches. and created miracles, had some magical shit happen. If you don't believe in miracles, how can you believe in magic? If you don't believe in magic, how can you believe in miracles? So there is a lot of, and I'll get onto that with Jesus in another video, because this is just an introduction. So let me keep it simple. So anyways, the only thing that I can really say about Doreen Virtue is that because I also had people reach out to me and ask me, what do you think about this? My only assumption, and I'm just assuming here, okay? Now, assumptions can get you in trouble. Remember that. But my thought is, either she needs this one-on-one time with Jesus to develop a personal relationship, because there's something in that maybe Jesus is trying to teach her or show her, or maybe she will be the bridge that bridges together Christianity and maybe spirituality, or Christianity and then that other set of Christians that are like the Bible thumper ones. So I kind of have that feeling about the whole situation. But regardless of what she says or what she does, I still have a place for her in my heart. I still look forward to, I don't exactly watch her right now just because of, I do not like people that are like, you shouldn't, it's demonic to read tarot cards, or it's demonic to look at the stars. Let me tell you, when people sit here and tell me about, you shouldn't read the stars, how do you think the 3 wise men found Jesus? Baby Jesus. How do you think they found him? They followed the fucking stars. Okay? The stars are what led them to find Jesus. And you're going to tell me not to follow the stars? Shah-ha-ha! I follow the stars every day. Okay? Because you never know where the stars are going to take you. Especially if you're going to find something like Jesus. So anyways, go figure. So yeah. It's, I'm just, and I know there is like a verse in Paul where Paul says, not to read the stars or follow the stars or some shit. But, the only thing that I can think of about that is either maybe Paul wanted you to look in another place instead of looking at the stars to find what you're looking for. Or, I don't know. There's really no telling. Okay? Really no telling. The only thing that I can tell you and advise you on is to follow what your heart says, because what your heart is where Jesus is going to reside regardless. Okay? Jesus ain't going to reside right here. Okay? Jesus resides right here. He is our Christ consciousness. You open yourself to him right here, because this is where love comes from. This here is a lower vibration. This is high vibration. Our minds, they're a tool that we're to use like a computer to help us. If this takes over, then you are working from lower vibrational things. So you have to get more so out of this and get down here, because this is where virtue comes from. This is where sin comes from. Okay? You have to learn to decipher and to acclimate. You got to learn when to, cut this off or tell this to stop. you have to rein this right here in, because if you don't rein this here in, it will dominate and it will take over. Your ego is not your amigo. So you have to get more so down here in your heart center. But anyways, I would also say too that I knew something was coming down with her before she made that announcement, because of the fact that she had gotten bangs. I've read somewhere people that have bangs, like their hair, because our hair is our spiritual connection to God or spirit, whichever. So when you wear bangs, you are actually blocking your third eye. Now some people wear bangs and then they part them, which is, great, because at least it creates that opening there. But and I do not have anything against people with bangs. Okay, I had just noticed that when she got bangs, and I thought to myself, okay, she getting ready to start blocking that third eye. I wonder what's going to happen. And then she, went and did her own thing, and then she got, now this is, years ago. This is not now. I don't know what she looks like now. But this is at the beginning, before she went off on a Christian path and quit doing, her spirituality stuff. So, she used to have videos where she was outside and she did her fairy cards. Now, I am not Doreen Virtue, but I do want to do something similar to that. And I am working on that as we speak. I've been thinking about it, meditating on it. So, really, you're only going to see one video of me each month, face to face like this. And I like to do these videos at the first of the month, just specifically to talk about like the astrology and what's going on in the sky, what you can expect for the month. Now, I'm not an astrologer. I just love and have a passion for astrology. So I don't know, astrology is like huge, complex. I don't know the ins and outs of everything. I just know enough to help me navigate. Okay? So, I do use that, as a tool. Now, you will see, like I said, one video like that each month. And then you're going to see about 2 videos, maybe 3 a week, it just depends, of my oracle readings that I will do each week. You'll see a new moon reading, a full moon reading. I'm going to bring those back. I'm really going to go back to what I used to do, because what I used to do I felt like really worked and I enjoyed it. So that's what, I'm just going to try and make some changes and then figure out, how to work these other things like TikTok and Instagram. I just have to, like I said, I'm not a social media expert, so I am figuring it out somewhat on my own. And one day in the future here, hopefully I'm hoping to have like a team of people like at my house helping me to do stuff. Which would actually be with my soap business, and I'm hoping that the ones that help me with it, especially on the social media platform, can also spill over and help me with this. So it is a work in progress, and hopefully, now I will say too, YouTube, you will see, I am going to put my page, The Urban Woman, it's either Oracle and Tarot, or Tarot and Oracle, or Urban Woman, whatever, okay? I am going to create a page for it on YouTube. Now, on YouTube, you're not going to see the Oracle stuff, okay? You will only see on YouTube the Zodiacs. So, I am going to start doing each sign Zodiac readings. Those will be on YouTube. So, mainly my Oracle decks and my new and full moon readings, they will be on the Facebook page. The Zodiacs will be on the YouTube page. I would also like to get back into doing my daily readings. Those you're probably going to see like on Instagram or TikTok, one or the other. The dailies will be some works that I have put together. I've done them before, where we speak 2 affirmations that are they are geared around the Healing with Numbers deck by Ina Segal. I think that's her name. And then I've got like an angel number that I read, but the numbers are also equivalent to the day. Like, you know, for example, today's like 4/6. So today is April the 6th. Well, if I were doing a reading today for April the 6th, then my Healing with Numbers and my angel number would be all around the number 6 for today. And then I have like 2 books that I read passages from, which also, you know, they also, you know, synchronistically tie into those messages. And, you know, they're just short videos, but those I'm hoping are going to be either on Instagram or TikTok, and I don't know, I think you can like sync the 2, so, you know, they'll be like that. Now, if you want personal readings, I am going to offer personal readings, but there's another platform that I'm looking into right now, and if I got to do a little bit more research on it. But with that one, with that platform that I'm thinking I'm going to roll with, you will find, if you get a personal reading from me, that it will be on that platform. Now, keep in mind, I have not said or announced this just yet, but once I get it figured out, I will let you know as soon as possible. So, just know that, because I also have noticed too, that everyone on the Instagram or the Gram and YouTube are talking about scammers. I have noticed, especially on Instagram, that the moment that I go and follow like a tarot reader on Instagram, that someone with the name exactly like theirs, but it will either have an underscore or like one extra S or one extra A, like an extra letter in their name of the same person, will then follow me back. And then, you know, in a little bit, then I'll get a message of, you know, I picked up on your energy. Thanks for following me. Would you like a reading? And I'm like, I always am like, no thank you. I'm just, you know, if I want, I don't always feel, you know, it took me a second to catch on. It's not that, you know, I went through and was like, yeah, because I read for myself. So, you know, I've always kind of been like, nah, I'm fine, but thanks though. And then once I started, you know, hearing the people talking about the ones that I follow and watch, talking about, you know, you're getting scammed, don't give in to these scammers. Then I put 2 and 2 together and was like, oh, these are the scammers. So I don't know on Instagram how people even figure out. Because, like, I swear, there's been 2 people, maybe 3, where I have literally went and just clicked the follow button on their page, and then within a few hours time, that name will pop up with an extra letter in it saying it's following me, like they're following me back. So I don't know how they're getting, you know, finding out who is liking these people's pages all of a sudden to go follow them and to try to resource and get money. I don't know. But anyways, make sure, you know, that I'll have all the links and stuff for you at some point in time. Just be careful and safe with all that. But anyways, I'll see you all again here soon. I will probably either the next day or 2 to 3 days, put out a reading. So you will find it here on Facebook. I'll let you know once I get everything over on YouTube set up, and, you know, with the TikTok and the Instagram. Okay, so thank you all for tuning in. See you soon. Namaste.